afternoon, everybody. We'll be starting this afternoon with youth and life skills. Yeah, I want to believe we all have the materials, the three materials that we uploaded this afternoon: youth and life skills, predisposing factors of HIV, and one other material on HIV. So I uploaded three materials this afternoon on the platform before we pulled out completely. So we start with the concept of adolescence and youth. The words adolescents, youths, teenagers, young persons are oftentimes used interchangeably. According to WHO, an adolescent is somebody between the age of 10 and 19. An adolescent can be of early age or late adolescent. So the ages of the early adolescent age is between 10 and 14, while late adolescent age is between 15 and 19. Other terms used to describe young population are youth and young person. When you are addressing somebody of a young population, you can either call them youth or you call them young persons. A youth is somebody that is aged between 15 and 24, while a young person is aged between 10 and 24. So the youth is an interface between childhood and adulthood, meaning that you are not a child, yet you are not an adult. So a universal definition of youth is that individual that is no longer a child, yet an adult. Challenges of youth. Youth tend to encounter several challenges as they grow. Youth experience physiological changes that increase their interest in sex. These physiological changes are due to hormonal changes, which can be physical, cognitive, or emotional. You have their physical changes being pubic hair, development of breast, body odor, deepening of voices for men, changes in body shape, menstruation, genital changes. You see increase in height. A child you saw that was about 8, and then seeing the child like 5 years later, 6 years later, you're surprised. Wow, you've grown. You see them shooting up, becoming so tall. You see those that have added weight. So all these changes are physical changes as a result of hormonal changes that is happening in their body. And then these changes can also be cognitive. You can see their decision making skills, how they used to talk when they were 7. You can see a difference when they're now 13, 14, 15. You see their reasoning changing. You see their abstract thinking. You see even their logical thinking. You can see changes when they were younger and when they are an adolescent. And then, of course, you see emotional changes too. You see them tending to have mood swings. They are cold today, they are warm tomorrow. You see that body consciousness. Oh, I'm not beautiful enough from some of them. You can see some of them saying, oh, I'm too fat, I'm too this. There's this body consciousness that comes with the age. You see that self-consciousness and self-awareness. Oh, mommy, I don't want to wear this trouser. It doesn't look nice. You see all sorts of changes in them. And then at that age, they tend to have a lot of peer pressure. And then they have problem with handling their sexual feelings. There are changes with their hormones now, feelings that are strange to them, things that they are not used to before now, So these changes come with their hormones. Many youths want to be independent from parental control and do not have the economic means to do so. It's still part of their challenge. They want to stay alone. They want to stay in the hostels for those that are now in higher institution. You even see some telling their parents they want to go to boarding school. They will be the one giving you the option of going to boarding school. So it's still part of the changes that are happening in them, and it's still a challenge. Adaptation to independent living on campus. You see quite a number of them struggling to live on campus. They're not used to living on their own. There's always mommy to wake them up. Oh, so person, go and shower. Now you have to wake up on your own, wake up for your classes. There's mommy to take you in a car, or daddy to take you in his car, drop you in school before going to work. That is not happening in the university. So you have to try, get up early, rush, take your shower while you're taking cues to take the shower, then run for your 8 a.m. class. So these are challenges they tend to encounter. Pressure to start a romantic relationship. You see them wanting to, because of the age, there are now attractions from the opposite sex, boy attracting girl, girl attracting boy. So, there's this pressure that comes with the other person saying, perhaps I have a boyfriend you don't have. So these are challenges youth tend to encounter as they grow. So we quickly run through the definition of some terms. We start with life skills. A skill is a special competence or ability to do something expertly. If you have if you have if you have an expertise in something, if you have a competence, or if you are competent in a particular field, then they can term it to be a skill or the ability to do something well. Life skills are special abilities needed by young persons to deal effectively with issues and challenges of every day in order to ensure healthy living styles and prepare them for the future. So it is important that youths have these special abilities that we term life skills, so that they can run and they can juggle between their daily activities. Youths need life skills to enable them deal with sexual and reproductive health issues or concerns and other societal challenges they face while growing up. So we run through goal setting. Goal setting is a process of arriving at what you intend to achieve. Basically, it involves planning for the future you desire. So you set a goal and then you work towards achieving that goal. So it's important that a youth or every youth set a goal and then they work to ensure they achieve that goal. Goal setting is important for the following reason. It gives meaning and direction to activities. In fact, it gives meaning and direction to our lives. When you have a goal, then you have a target. At so time I want to do this when I'm say age 16, I want to enter uni, or age 17, I want to enter uni. By the time I'm done in uni, say 4-5 years program, by age 20, 21, 22, I'm out. I go for youth service. By this, I want to start working. I want to do my masters. So because you have set goals, it helps you. You can work towards achieving. You're not just living aimlessly. You have set goals and then you're working towards achieving them. It increases our chances of achieving our plans and ambitions. It enables us to prepare adequately for the future. Yes, if you set a goal, it can help you prepare adequately for the future. Now you have, in a year I want to do this, or you set, fantastic, short-term goals, long-term goals, short-term goals, you're giving a number of years, long-term goals, you're giving a number of years. So you can say by the time, but in the next 3 years, I'll be this, in the next 5 years, I'll do that, all things being equal. So with having set goals, it helps you to prepare adequately for your future. It enables us to understand ourselves better. Yes, it enables you to understand yourself better. As you're making this progress, the progress in life, you understand, oh, I think I'm better in this. If I do this, yes, you have tried this and you realize that I don't think I'm very good in this. Okay, let me try it in another way, and then it helps you understand and know yourself better, and it helps you stay focused. Because you have a set goal, you can stay focused on a particular thing or whatever you have doing at that moment. So you are focused, you're not being distracted. You have a goal, you are aimed at, you are targeting that's your goal. You want to ensure you achieve it. So you're not distracted. So now we move to decision making. Decision making is a process involved in taking a decision about an issue. The process by which you take a decision about an issue or a problem is decision making. Steps involved in making decision. Identify a problem or an issue that requires a solution. So before you can say you're making a decision, I mean, there has to be an issue, there has to be a problem. So you have to identify what the problem is first, and then you can now find a way to profile solution to it. So then you can make a decision as to what the solution will be. Identify different alternatives or options available for you to solve the problems. So you have problems set down. You can then now bring out alternatives. You can bring out options you have. Oh, I have option A, I have option B, I have option C. Then you can weigh all of them together. Okay, if I do option A, this will be the likely outcome. If I do B, this will be the likely outcome. If I do C, this will be the likely outcome. Assess each option and alternatives. Just like I've said, option A, B, C, you assess each of them, and then you work with the one that suits you best. Identify the most preferred option depending on your values and your goals. So while assessing these options, you also need to ensure that they are going in alignment with your values and your goals. Periodically review your decision to ensure it is in line with your goal. So it's important that you periodically review your decisions, maybe on a yearly basis, annually, every 6 months. Oh, okay, I do this is what I do on a yearly basis. Review it again, be sure that it's still something that is still in line with your goal. So if it's shifting away from your goal, you know that you might need to re-strategize. For a clear decision to make, an individual must have an in-depth information of facts about the issue or the problem at hand. For you to make a decision, you need to understand or have an in-depth information about the issue or the problem at hand. You must have clarified your personal values. Be analytic and then be assertive. So we move to the next slide, which is negotiation. Negotiation is a discussion held with someone or people in order to reach an agreement with him or her. So negotiation is oftentimes between a person, 2 or more people. So in order to reach an agreement with him or her or them, a negotiation skill enables people resolve conflict or solve problem amicably. So if there's an issue at hand and you all can negotiate, it helps you solve that problem amicably. Not everybody shouting on top of their voices, not everybody wanting their opinion to stand firm or to stand last. But because you have come to the round table, you can negotiate. Okay, bring your point. You all can look into it, and then you come at one particular solution. Negotiation helps to improve relationship among people. Of course, if you have good negotiation skill, you improve your relationship. Your relationship definitely will improve among people, because now you are not at loggerhead with everyone. You are not with the idea that only my opinion stands. No. Now you are hearing other people. You say yours, they say theirs. You can come to a compromise, kind of. Requirements for effective negotiation. Effective communication is important, and communication is a two-way drive. You hear, you listen. You just don't speak and then you don't listen. No, you listen, you speak, and then you listen to other people. That's how communication works. You speak and then you listen. So critical thinking is also a requirement for effective negotiation. Problem solving, yes, very important for effective negotiation. Assertiveness. You can say what you want, like you want this and you want that. You're not going, you can stand firm on whatever you have said. So yes, now we move to assertiveness. Assertiveness is the ability to establish and communicate an opinion or a right confidently without infringing on the rights of other people. Yes, they do say that no right is absolute. So because you cannot use your right to tamper on another person's own, so it's important that in as much as you are standing on your rights, understand that the other person too has a right. So as much as possible, we have to be assertive without infringing on the rights of other people. We have to be able to communicate confidently. We have to be able to communicate rightly without infringing on the rights of others, or without being aggressive, without being insultive, without being rude. So assertiveness too is a skill. Is a skill that is important that we learn, or the youths learn. So being assertive helps to ensure that your rights and those of other people are respected. You see, because you're assertive, you ensure that you're protecting your rights, and then you're protecting the rights of other people too. You're not being rude to them. You won't allow somebody being rude to you too. So you have to, as much as possible, create a balance. Make people respect your opinion. Be assertive, you make people respect your opinion. Understand that you don't have to be rude to them, and you don't have to be aggressive in passing their information. So being assertive does not mean that you should be aggressive, does not mean that you should be dominating or be claiming that your right is more important than others, just like we said earlier. So we move quickly to the next one, which is refusal. Refusal is the ability to say no to requests or issues that are against our values and jeopardize our life goals. You can affirmatively say no. Saying no does not mean that you are fighting the person or you are quarreling with the person. You just know what you want and you stand by it. So it's a very, very important skill for every youth to have. Having this refusal, yes, I was going to that. Refusal skill is necessary in a situation where other people, especially friends, put pressure on you to use drugs. So because you have mastered the skill of refusal, when presented with the usage of drugs, I mean hard drugs, you can say no. Smoking of cigarettes, you can say no. Drinking of alcohol, you can say no. It doesn't align with my values, it doesn't align with my religious beliefs, it doesn't align with my person. Not because you are fighting them, but because you know what you want and you don't want to get involved in what they're doing. To the extent of even joining court, you can say no affirmatively, that no, you are not interested. Having premarital sexual intercourse, cheating in examination, rape, and even stealing. So if you can say, if you are mastered the skill of refusal, you can say no to all of these things. Or youth can say no, with the bearing in mind that we have adults in this class too. I mean, older people. Ways of expressing refusal: you can say no without offering an explanation is okay. You can say no and give a reason. You can say no, give an excuse. Oh, I'm sorry, I won't be able to follow you to the party because I need to read. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to take it because it's against my religious beliefs. Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot join court because my parents have said this, that. You can just give excuses and reason, and you can even suggest an alternative. Instead of taking alcohol, why not let us just take Coke? I won't want to take alcohol, but I can take Coke if you don't mind. I think I'd rather have I would rather have soda or something, and divert attention from issue. So when things like that, youths can just laugh it off, just make a joke about it and just let it die there, instead of just making a fuse of it. You can just make a joke of it or just laugh it up. So you can also back it up with the right body language by just shaking your head in approval. You stand up, fold your arms, frown your face. With all these expressions, people tend to understand when you're saying yes and when you're saying no. And if you know that it's not safe for you, you leave the environment immediately. Be it a boy, be it a girl, if you're in a toxic environment, it's important that you leave immediately. So we move now to self-esteem. Self-esteem or self-worth is an affective or emotional reaction to oneself. Self-esteem is confidence in one's worth and ability. It is understanding one's value and respect that comes with it. It deals with the way people perceive themselves, respect for e.g. respect for opinion about, feelings or impression about, and confidence in oneself. So it's still respect for oneself, the opinion you have about yourself, the feelings you have about yourself, the impression you have about yourself, and the confidence you have about yourself. So self-esteem is very, very important as a skill for all youths to have. Self-esteem can be high and it can be low. So looking at high self-esteem, you tend to see youths that have high self-esteem to be authoritative, assertive, confident. Yes, they respect authority too. That you have high self-esteem does not mean that you will not respect authority. Being rude, being rebellious, being arrogant, it's not self-esteem. Actually, you have low self-esteem, you are just hiding under these things. So somebody with high self-esteem, you see them being humble, they're interactive, they respect authority, they respect social norms, they're confident, they're assertive, they're authoritative. And people with low self-esteem, they tend to be pushed around, inferiority complex, they're rebellious. You see quite a number of youths that are super rebellious, that are arrogant, very rude, talk to people anyhow. Actually, it's low self-esteem. So it's important that those people work on themselves. So now we move to tips for developing self-esteem. Set attainable goals. Yes, you have to set attainable goals for yourself. Acknowledge your achievements. You achieve something, you acknowledge it. Don't belittle yourself. Don't berate yourself. Don't sell yourself short or sell yourself low. If you have achieved something, acknowledge that achievement and celebrate it. Be patient with yourself. Rome was not built in a day. Just be patient with yourself. Be assertive, as we have said before. Use your support system. We all have support system. You have your support system, can be your family, your mom, your dad, your siblings, your friends, your cousins. Just use the support system you have around you. You have problems, you have challenges, go to your parents, go to your lecturers that you can confide in friends that you can confide in, and they'll give you right advice or right solution. Just ensure you use your support system. You can't do it alone. You will crash. Use your support system. Feel comfortable with and confident about yourself. So, in conclusion, we say youths face developmental, social, reproductive health challenges. Youths need life skills to negotiate the challenges effectively to enable them grow up to be healthy and responsible adults. We have come to the end of the class. We move to the next one.